everybody, my name is
H3TR.
Welcome to
Nomifactory.
Hi everyone, I've got some bad news for this video. The first 4 hours of footage have no microphone recording because I was so smart to disable my microphone and I forgot to turn it back on. So yeah, I will, rather than the commentary I did last episode, I will try to do some voiceover like right now. And it's a bit of a different format. Maybe you will like it more, and if that is the case and I get some positive feedback, I might keep this format. Depends all on how I'm editing, of course, but I think this is pretty good. So let's get into it. The first thing we did before the audio was back online was we did dismantle the primitive blast furnace because, well, the alloy smelter we made it redundant, so we just removed it in its entirety. And second, we made ourselves an assembling machine. Now, if you're familiar with GregTech or Nomifactory, you might be thinking to yourself, why is he making the assembling machine so early? Well, that's a good question, and I hope my answer is as good as that question. So, since the assembling machine is used for making various recipes cheaper, especially the vacuum tubes, it was only logical for me to get as low ingredient requirements as possible, so that we can boost our output without using all of our materials every single time like we did last episode. You might have noticed that we had to go mine quite a lot. I've left the mining sequences out of this episode, but if you want them back, you can, leave a comment and tell me about it, so that I can't change anything if I don't know about it. After we made our assembling machine, we got ourselves a battery buffer because all of the machines were constantly running out of power, which is not good. So we got a little bit of a reserve so we can store power while we are not using the machines. Good. Now that my history lesson is complete, I will tell you about what my plans were. Generally, it was all about reducing the cost of the circuit components, since those circuits were and still are the most expensive part of the machines we make. The first thing we wanted to do is get an electrolyzer, because with this machine we could produce oxygen from water as well as carbon for sugar from our sugarcane. The carbon would be used to reduce our coal requirements because obviously coal is not renewable, both in real life and in Nomifactory. Well, at this point at least, unless we unlock the mob simulation. While our sugarcane is absolutely renewable. You might notice that I will say we will use graphite in the video, but I forgot that that actually is an MV recipe. Besides, it's also not renewable and thus less desired by us, since, renewable is better. And then the final thing, why do we need oxygen? Well, because we also want an arc furnace, and oxygen is required for every recipe. It's kind of like the fuel for it. And by now you should have guessed that our next goal is the arc furnace. So with an arc furnace we can get annealed copper from copper. And this is incredibly useful because every recipe that we use that uses some copper wire, or fine copper wire, either of those. If we I think they're only the recipes in the assembling machine, But you know, that's most of the recipes that use iron wire anyways, so every recipe that we have like copper wire or copper fine wire, and we can replace that with copper, annealed copper fine wire or annealed copper wire, that will have double the output, which is absolutely incredible.
Oh my God!
The only thing that doesn't really get double the output is circuit boards, but those don't really use wires. In the assembly machine they use foil instead, so that doesn't really count. The final machines we set our target to is an extractor, and with the extractor we can turn almost any material into its liquid form. The most efficient recipe for vacuum tubes uses a tiny amount of red alloy in liquid form. You can put that in the single liquid slot in the assembly machine, I think. Yes. And this will increase our output again. Oh, and just notice that it also reduces the amount of steel bolts by 1. But that's still half of the amount of steel bolts. So, as you will see, we did forget that we needed some more other machines. But I will not spoil that for you, because some of these machines were required for other ingredients. For example, the glue for resistors. We can't make resistors in the assembly machine without glue. I'll keep silent about that, and I will let that up to my boss self. Right. So to actually use this arc furnace, we will be needing oxygen. And for now, we will get a proper source of oxygen when we start setting up our cobble works. But I think the best thing for now is just to get the electrolyzer. Then we can already get some graphite to make steel more efficiently, and then we can also unlock the actual oxygen to use in the arc furnace. So my idea right now is that we save as much on circuits so we don't make too much, because we first are trying to get the materials that will make them a lot cheaper. For example, the arc furnace will get us annealed copper, which will increase our yields by a significant amount, as you can see in, for example, let me look up a recipe here. If we look at the resistor recipe, we have this for 8 with 4 fine annealed copper wire, while if we would make it with just regular copper wire, we would only get half of that. So this will increase our yields in a lot of things. I think as well in vacuum tubes. So I think an arc furnace is something very important. So is the extractor, because with the extractor we can increase our yields of the vacuum tubes as well, because then we can get a red alloy liquefied, which is used in this assembler here to increase the yields as well. As you can see here, annealed copper wire. So if we would do it with just regular copper, it would be 4, and without red alloy I think it would be even less. So yes, this is absolutely amazing to get this annealed copper wire and red alloy. So I think that's why I'm making these 3 in particular. It's just so to boost our output of circuits. Realize that for our resistors, this resistor recipe in the assembler, we will be needing glue, which we can only get by centrifuging. Well, at this point at least, we can only get it by centrifuging sticky resin, as you can see, which, well, that means we have to make a centrifuge as well. Right now we're doing a lot manually, but as soon as we have some of our actual resource production with this here, forgot the name of the mod, but We can simulate stuff, mobs with it, and we can generate resources, which is extremely practical, so we don't have to mine at all or spend our coins buying ores. And then we can just generate all the resources we need, and then we can just, for example, passive copper wire, which we will be needing a lot, or iron plates or something like that. I'm not sure if we even need iron plates quite that often, but whatever. Just forgot I stole this piece of circuitry. It's quite annoying using this just one circuit and switching it between all the different places, but since circuits are very expensive for us right now, I don't even consider actually getting some proper. I don't even consider making more. That would be a very, very retarded idea. Just spending resources for no reason. Not a very good thing to do. Especially not early game. I mean, you can mess around with all resources you got as soon as you hit a good amount of wealth, but we don't have enough wealth as of speaking, so let's just keep it at that. As soon as we get our low voltage cobble works, I don't think this is the correct machine. Nope, it's not. Oh. It's fine. We can use the arc furnaces if we got it to get it back, to get our materials back. But that still means that we will be needing to get some more steel. And our poor battery buffer is already dying. So actually, I'm just gonna pause this so we don't. I mean, it's fine. We still have enough power. You know, Joe Biden really is the president of all times. That's my political opinion. I'm not even an American, so that makes me free of scrutiny. Except if you think Biden Joe has alt-right views, I don't think I can get scrutinized by anyone. Except maybe I can. I don't know. I'm not a political expert. I don't know shit. Alright, centrifuge. Now we can finally get resistors in a cheap way. Good. Now the next thing is the arc furnace. I'm gonna put it next to this one because I don't know, why not? Doesn't matter. You can't tell me shit unless you actually know better, which you probably do because I am very newly Gregified. My Gregification is very recent, which means that I haven't even gotten further than EV. So yeah, and it's all Nomifactory. I have not played Rectag in 1.7. Is that based? I don't think it's based. Is that unbased? No. I'm not even doing this. This is completely unnecessary. Oh, whatever. Give me graphite dust, please. Hello? How graphite dust, please? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this real? I am being joked with? This is real. This is actually real. I need a macerator, don't I? I really need a macerator. For what? I don't want to be masturbator. Yep. I need a masturbator. That's right. That's exactly what I need. A masturbator. What does this thing cost? It's not very expensive. Alright, we have a dilemma right now. We either make... Actually, no, we don't at all. We should just get a macerator in this one. There's no reason for not getting it. Besides, at this point, there's nothing stopping us from making these at the same time, because we will be needing similar... This will not help us get higher yields for this, I think. At least not in a direct way, so... Oh, we even got a quest for the macerator. That's interesting. There we go. So what next? Before we made the extractor, I decided to get a lathe and a compressor, which increases the yields of both rods and rubber by 100%, respectively. While I don't have footage of it, I have also made an autoclave which allowed me to craft a vacuumulator. This device will pick up any dropped items in a selected range, and we will use it to stop the sugarcane farm from being covered in sugarcane all the time, so we don't have to clear our inventory because all of the dropped sugarcane got in our inventory. After this, I decided to look into a way to get some better energy output, because the battery buffer was sadly not enough to keep our power grid from getting blackouts all of the time. Alright, so after testing, I found out that converting the steam directly to EU is very inefficient, so we will get 2 more of these steam dynamos, boiler upgrade, and 2 boiler conversion kit and 2 turbine conversion kits, so we can turn this into a way more efficient setup and all around just better. We will be needing it if when we will be getting, for example, the blast furnace, because that will suck power, as well as the forgot the name, the simulation chambers for the mobs. Right. There we go. And now, well, now it's this one. And like it says below, it might be a good idea to look into the steam grinder. And I have not used it before, but I've heard that it's incredibly useful. So I will definitely consider it, because, well, it just crushes everything in parallel. Very handy, definitely, because then we can get our ore output like octupled. I think it's 8 in parallel, that's if I remember correctly. So that's very, very amazing. And after the new energy generation setup was finished, I decided to, like I mentioned in the video, to look into the steam grinder. Alright, now is a good time to start looking into the steam grinder. I think that if we build it any later, it would not come to us for much use, but still, it's pretty useful. So I think now is a good moment to get it. We will be using quite a lot of bronze, so I hope we have enough copper, and otherwise we will need to... No, we don't. We will definitely need to get some extra copper, but since all of my things for my equipment for actually mining the diamond hammers have... Well, I went through all of them, which is quite fast. So what that means, we just have to do it with the coins here. Great. Let's set this thing up then. Alright, let's not use this then, because this is way better. Takes a while, but it does a lot more at once. So it's definitely worth making this. We will see that our input is significantly improved with this machine. And there you go, look at that. It's 8 per cycle, which is pretty good. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to try to set up our cobbleworks, and I already have a quite good idea, I think, of what I want to do. Right, so I'm definitely not sure of this design here, but I have, let's just primarily focus about this. I might not even use this design at all, but this is what I want our cobbleworks to look. So we have 3 forge hammers, one for gravel, one for sand, and one for dust. Then here a chemical reactor, which is apparently not working, but it's supposed to turn dust into clay, clay blocks, not clay, clay balls. And this electrolyzer turns, as you can see, it turns glass into quartz. This turns glass dust into, well, this, well actually, let's go here. This turns sand into glass, glass turns into glass dust and quartz, glass dust turns into silicon dioxide dust, and silicon dioxide dust, no, here, glass turns into silicon dioxide dust, and silicon dioxide dust turns into silicon and oxygen. You can't really see it, yeah, there. Turns really fast, but these are not all LV machine casings, by the way. They're just conduit facades, because I think it looks quite cool. But we might not implement that in our actual, definitely not in the beginning, because I don't even think we can get a paint machine yet. It's Ender.io, so it might be quite expensive. And then here behind is just the wall where we can get everything. We will probably connect this to our applied energistics. And here's the oxygen super tank, by the way. We will probably connect this to applied energistics as soon as we can. Well, because why not? This is extremely useful to access from everywhere. Definitely like glass and quartz, clay even. We can all use these materials very well, so it's really no question what we should do with these things. But this is kind of design. I'm just gonna try to show this a little bit better. It's definitely not the prettiest design. I mean, it looks quite good. I'm not gonna lie. It's not ugly. It's definitely quite good looking. But this, so yeah, this is it. I'm not sure about these 16x conductive iron wires because, well, I don't. Not quite sure if we could use them. So I just mainly use them so we absolutely have enough power. I'm not sure how much this even consumes, but yeah. So this is quite a lot of machines, but it's definitely a good thing to get these as soon as possible, because we can stockpile the materials like as soon as we can, and then we can upgrade these drawers so we never run out. So yeah, that's absolutely amazing if we can do that. So let's see, we need 3 forge hammers, we need, let's take this as well, let's just do this as well. We just have what we need exactly. 2 electrolyzers, chemical reactor, this one. We don't need a macerator because we already have one. An arc furnace, definitely required. Without that we don't have glass. Here, this one. Centrifuge as well. And if I'm just looking, that might be it. Right, while this is working, I think that it might be a good idea to explore and find some of these anvils because they're really expensive. But luckily we can find them in all of these buildings. So if we can find 3, that would be absolutely amazing. And we found another one, and this makes me think that there might be an anvil in our own building as well, because this is the same type and the same type of room. So if we don't find one below, oh yeah, I lost some footage there, but I did in fact find one below, and I returned home immediately after. Now let's see, we haven't checked how much electronic circuits we need, which is definitely a lot, probably 2 per machine. Alright, 2 per machine and 4 for this one, so that makes 18. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot. Lucky for us, our recipes have greatly improved since even this we have red alloy, which increases our yield another time, which is absolutely amazing. Maybe we can even use this to get the yeah, I definitely considered that. Right, that's I'm planning to make a stack of them, which is gonna be quite easy with these kinds of yields. Also got this gold, let's turn it back into ingots and put it where it should be. Oh, we also got a quest. Amazing. Not sure if we can claim the reward, so, or if there even is one. Oh yes, there sure is. That's, yeah, that's great. That's amazing. I have a feeling that we're missing one. Oh, no, we're missing copper, a red alloy. Absolutely love the mouse tweaks stuff. which makes it so much better to just use the inventory in general. So imagine we for now at least can put it right here. So we have this narrow space. It's definitely not optimal, but it's, I think, the best option. Unless we put, no, we're not gonna put the drawers there. That's just not practical at all. Just gotta move it over here, but alright, let's put all of the forge hammers right here. Then what is the next thing? Probably the arc furnace for glass, and then we can steal our macerator here. And you know what? Let's put the chemical reactor there actually. Put the macerator up here. Centrifuge up here. And both of the electrolyzers can go here. Right. This is a fine setup to begin with, I suppose. Now we just need some cables to actually hook all of these machines up, which are 9 cables. Then we also need some, where is it? We will need some item conduits to transport all the items to and from the drawers. Oh, I put them on the wrong side actually. My bad. Let's just fix that real quick. We just connect all of this, and we will also need to get, I think it's about the same, 5 plus 4, 9 drawers. Oh, we need more circuits for this. Oh, that was also a quest apparently. Here. Right, now that we have all of this set up, we just need a few more things to get this started. First of all, we will need item filters, which just regular ones, these here, which is paper and hoppers. And then we probably need some, we don't need fluid filters because we're only handling one fluid in here. So this project is on hold. It really sucks. That was it for this episode. I initially wanted to make this one a bit longer, but it's already quite long and I'm in the middle of my exams. So I can play and edit less than normally. So I also wanted to release this video in a decent amount of time. And this might be a bit different format because of the voiceover. But if you like it over the previous format, make sure to let me know. And if you like this video, you know what to do. If you didn't like it, you can go ahead and dislike it, but please be so kind to leave a comment where you explain what you didn't like about it, so I can keep that in mind for the next episode. If you want to keep up with this series, then I suggest you subscribe, and you can also boost my ego with that. And if you think someone else might like this video, you can go ahead and share it, because I genuinely need some exposure. If you didn't want to do any of those, then I will still thank you for watching the video all the way through, and I hope I will see you again. Goodbye.